Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 5 of our performance management in esports performance management. I'm not sure what the order is. Anyways, I have had a chance to look over all of the projects so far. Some good stuff, some bad stuff. Either way, I'll go through and I'm going to review everything. I'll pretty critically break down what was good and what was bad, where things were lacking, or maybe where something excelled. I will do my best to give those detailed like responses and feedback on all the stuff that you did because we will have the opportunity for some revisions here in a couple weeks or so. Um, really, I'll open the revisions once I'm done grading everyone's, and then I'll set a due date on when the last day that you can do those revisions are. But basically, for revisions, you can get up to half credit back on um, on your assignment. So, say that you got a dead 50%, the most that you could get back would be 25% to bump you up to a 75. Don't want to be able to give full credit on these revisions and stuff, but do want to give you a chance to maybe make up for some missed points and stuff. Other than that, like I said, I'll be pretty busy with grading to try to get these in for you guys. But it's a busy time of the year being a coach, and I'm actually going to talk about some of that because I can't remember if I said it yet or not. This week is coaching, or specifically coaching styles. Really, the next 4 weeks of class are going to be about different aspects of coaching, things that you'll need to do or to plan if you were to ever run or coach your own esports team. So this really chunk of class leading into our next organization project is pretty much my day to day and everything that I'm doing. So it'll be a little bit easier for me to talk about what's going on because I'm living some of it. So yeah, so esports coaching is weird, I would say, when you think about and compare it to traditional sports. So the biggest aspect that I think is different is like live coaching. So what I mean by that is if you think about basketball, coaches on the sideline, sometimes clipboard being broken or in hand, up and down the court, yelling at the team what plays to run, what the other team's running, get in the press, get off the press man to man, switch to the zone, run this play, run that play, calling the out of bounds plays, things like that, while the game's going on. Um, that's not something that really ever happens in esports. That does happen um, in a couple games like Halo. Basically, in Halo, you have 4v4, but there's a fifth person where you have the coach is basically that fifth player. They have the headset there in the call. They're keeping track of like power weapons and stuff like that. Timings, spawns, what's the next point that's going to come up, how many kills are left if you're in a Slayer match, those types of things. But Halo is the exception. Really, what an esports coach does is prepare your team for the match. So a lot of esports games, teams, titles will have your IGL or in-game leader. Those are the people who are making the calls, and that's not the coach. The coach is someone who is doing scouting reports, getting stats of the team that you're going against, maybe giving a general game plan for how we're going to uh, play this. So in Valorant, for example, some things that coaches might do. You're gonna find out who you're playing, what their most played agents are, what their best maps are when you're thinking about picks and bans for your maps. The coach is gonna be the one really doing all of that research. So you're gonna keep in mind, hey, what is my team good at, and hey, where does this other team struggle? And try to prep at least prep what's going on for in terms of picks and bans, what maps and stuff that we might play. Okay, on Ascent, the team that we're playing favors the A side. So let's maybe three stack there, and then have two play B side and one looking mid, kind of thing. So really, it's all prep. Going into it. At least on the professional side. My job is a lot different. I do all of that. Got to do all the prepping, making sure that my team is informed, knows what they're doing, is working mechanically on the game. I'm coming up with all of like the practice plans, any type of wellness, working with athletic trainers or strength coaches in terms of what all we're doing that week. Also, I am recruiting for this program. I am going through budget meetings right now and trying to prep how much money we'll need for next year. Also, just managing all of the different titles, all of the rosters, and things like that too. So, in the professional role, you're going to have um, more support around you in like designated roles for what you're doing. Because there's some like uh, some esports titles that are going to have like specific, I guess, scouts or people who are putting together those reports, data analysts. Others will just have their coach that kind of handles it all. It really depends on what level of esports that you're at, and what game that you're into, because you have different needs for Call of Duty versus Valorant versus Rocket League. Very much like how you have different coaching needs for like football, baseball, basketball. Look at all that stuff. Um, yeah, that's just some stuff that I wanted to cover in general about coaching. Now we'll kind of break down what we got going for the week. So here, like I said, week 5, we have all of our to-dos. Watch this video. Hopefully you're watching it if you see me going over this. Read the related article, not cools. One of the links broke, so if you clicked on that, sorry. And then the other one, complete the weekly discussion. Posts are due Sunday, and there are no replies needed. So please make sure that you answer the questions thoroughly, and aren't just posting a paragraph to answer all this stuff. So the one of the articles that I've linked for you is here. It's from Next Level Esports. They have a lot of good resources. Just kind of generally, um, this isn't something that I would like live by or pay for anything. But looking at their like free stuff, it's not bad. Coaching styles is not something new that they have made up. If you take any kind of sport management or coaching class, you're gonna encounter these coaching styles. So this looks at those coaching styles through the lens of esports, right? So what you want to switch up from these coaching styles to better coach an esports team. Not a very long article at all. It's really a lot of bullet points that makes it seem longer than it is. Make sure to give this a read. It'll help with answering some of your questions. And here they are. Answer each of these with 3 to 4 complete sentences. So again, not just wanting a response, but kind of explaining your response with it. So what roles do a coach play on a professional esports team? What role do they play on a collegiate esports team? In your opinion, what's the most effective of the 4 coaching styles? And then the last one is, what coaching style do you feel works best for you? Meaning, if you have a coach with this style, you're going to learn from them better or more than if they had another style. So these are some things that I want you guys to keep in mind and look at for this week when answering it. You may have to do a little bit of your own research. I know this is gonna be a pretty short video, and I talked a little bit about pro and college on the beginning of this, but I find that in an online class, it's you learn more if you have to dig in. So please dig in a little bit for me. And then next up, we covered the big org project 1. So here's project 2. This is posted for you guys. Like I said, it's due really March 22nd, right? So you see that right there. Um, you'll have access to post it until 12:01 a.m. on the 23rd. That's just to give you guys a chance. If your browser's buffering, you're turning it in last minute. Please don't. But here, I'll briefly cover this. I'll cover it again as we get closer to it. But practice and wellness planning. So if you look ahead in the course, we have some dedicated weeks for these topics, but wanted to throw it out there ahead of time so that you guys essentially have a full month um, to think about this project as we head into it. Objective, you're going to need to answer the questions as if you're the manager of a professional esports team. use a team that exists or use the team that you made up from the previous project. Expectations, not going to be a one pager or even a two pager. A good assignment should have several pages and go in depth to each part of the plans. So here are our workouts. This is why we're doing each of them. Don't generalize. These should be specific. And then if you use any resources, please properly cite them and then upload it as a PDF. Basically, two parts. Practice plan. Well, what are you going to need for the games and stuff that you're playing? I know a lot of you did content orgs for your org project. We might need to look at like 100 Thieves Team Liquid for you guys to think about what, like, especially for this first part, what are you going to practice? How are you going to do it? Build that plan for them. And then create a wellness plan for your team. So wellness plan, have at least a couple parts: physical, mental, maybe equipment, ergonomics, stuff like that. Use your week 7 assignment as your outline, tailor it to your team. Same thing up here for, I think, week 6. We'll have those for you guys. Other than that, we're going to cover both wellness and practice plans as we go through everything. So just keep an eye out for it. Just wanted to get this on your radar as soon as it was posted. That way that you guys have it and are ready for it. Other than that, that's all I have for this week. I hope that you guys have a good one. I will try my best to get through all of the grading for the projects. Busy time, going through a lot of budget meetings and stuff like that, but I'll get those as quick as I can for you guys. Other than that, thanks for being here, and see you next time.